to Welcome to ザ・リーガルマインドセットさんチャンネルどのパフパフはいです。
Oh shit, here we go again.
Low, low, man. Low, low, man.
You like contracts, right? You're a contract guy.
I read contracts instead of conventional.
Yes, 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 yes. Yes. Slippery little bastard! Making the mother of all omelets here, Jack. Can't spread over every egg.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Andrew Esquire of The Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge, and we're here today to talk about VTuber pros and cons. We got some good news, some bad news, some sad news, all that stuff here today, and maybe just a little drop, a little daily dose of degeneracy. Maybe we got it here for you today, but it's good to see you today here in the house. Bow bow, as I see in the chat, a very base senator. Yes, a very base senator. Good to see everybody here in the house. And I know some of you guys are probably still recovering from, we had a nice little intimate base legal mindset members only. That's the top tier supporters only chat last night, which was great, or it was earlier today for me, which was really fun. But there's a lot of topics to cover, so can't waste time. Got to get on the grind. And I also will be doing a today's VTuber related. I'll be doing a Star Wars related one either tomorrow or the next day, because I've got some Star Wars topics and lawsuits to cover as well as somebody sent me a very sexy AI Star Wars like kind of trailer, which is really cool. So I want to play that in that episode as well when we talk about the lawsuits. So today is VTubers though. It's all VTubing stuff. And appreciate everybody who was there for that. Yeah, Jin Blades was there for the BLM stream, so the last stream was amazing. Thank you, man. Thank you. Doug Diaz coming through with the 5 legal mindset memberships. Thank you so much. Absolutely appreciated. And as always,
Not a sin. I cannot absolve you. Mega based.
Also, LJ O'Rourke. So thank you, Doug. And if you receive one of those, please say thank you to Doug Diaz. LJ O'Rourke says degeneracy this early in the stream. I know. No, actually, I'm saving it for the end because it involves swallowing. So I think I'm gonna leave that for as close as we get to the end of the stream. So YouTube may or may not see it, right? So we'll see that. We'll wait for the end. But I know what you people like. Listen, I know.
Degenerates. You guys degenerates.
Yeah, listen. I get it, okay? I get it. You're here for a reason, okay? Third time's the charm. I caught up on the replays. What's up, JP? Yeah, and I've got more coming. I do apologize. Like, I'm gonna have a couple of replays coming out, or sorry, clips. So you're gonna have some clips coming out tonight. After this one, there'll be the clip about HoloLive being too straight. Then there'll be the Godot bot stuff, which actually there's more updates on the Godot bot. That's a whole nother, whole nother episode. And then I may need to do another one on localization in the future, because obviously that Dragon Quest clip blew up. That's been circulated everywhere. I think Elon just retweeted it. So that's getting a lot of eyeballs right now. And a lot of folks that I know that are interested in it, and even those that are concerned about localization, are kind of reaching out to me. So I may have a panel. Maybe I'll have a guest or two. Might even perhaps somebody knows native Japanese, and I have a friend who has a good channel. He's covered localization issues, so I may bring that on to talk about and just have another sit down, because it's time to really have a come to Jesus about localization. But yeah, also JP, thank you so much for the 5 legal mindset membership.
Yes.
And listen, I appreciate your support. I appreciate you sticking with me. Even though, and those that are with me with BLM saw this clip, but even though sometimes, guys,
Look, here's the thing.
Fine. Listen,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
even though sometimes I can scuff it, guys. I appreciate the guys, despite how scuffed my streams may be, despite how, I may trickle in 3, 4, 5 minutes late to class here, sneak in the back. I appreciate you guys sticking with me no matter what. So appreciate y'all. Yeah, and also do say thank you for all the gifts. Shattered there saying thanks to JP. Appreciated. All right, so let's get into the good news, right? You're real. That's why we love you. Thank you so much. This is 100% authentic. You can't make this shit show up, Melissa. You really can't. All right, so let's start out with Ironmouse. First of all, I'm so happy that Ironmouse got her channels back on YouTube, and it is just in time for her to set some crazy records. So she is now, Ironmouse is now #1 on the Twitch sub count. So she's up here at 268. Now, currently, she's obviously doing a subathon, right? But she's up there setting records. And I believe even she's busting through right now some of Ninja's all-time records revolving #3 in the all-time Twitch ratings. I think I've got that here as well. It's over here on this page. Let's see here. Yeah, all-time streamers. So you can see right there, you got Kai Cenat. His all-time peak was 300. Then Mogul Moves 283, Ninja 269, and then Ironmouse 251. This isn't updated yet, so I think she's busting through this level right now into #3 slot. It'd be awesome if she got up in the #2 slot, and then made a race for the top. That just really, it shows you the dominance of VTubers and how the industry is just growing. And hopefully, the rise of Ironmouse, whether or not you personally watch her streams all the time or not, it helps the industry as a whole. I think that's great, and also helps get more people thinking about VTubing as a serious industry, a serious area, giving it better consideration. I think that's a good thing for all of us. The Ninja Ironmouse beef would be slight to behold. Yeah. Now there are people that are pushing back against it. Now I'm going to play a little clip. There's a section that False did on this, and he covers. There's a couple comments on here where there's a little bit of hate. It may take like 2 minutes to get in here, but let me play this to show you there are people that are being haters. I think it's stupid. And there's a good reaction clip that I took off of Reddit over here to respond to it. But let's get to some of the praise and then some of the haters, because some of the haters are indeed a little bit unhinged, right? So let's play this little clip here.
Who even during the Holo GTA event was still the top most watched VTuber this past weekend, and also being featured by Twitch. The platform creating a mini documentary that traced the journey for first streams to big dreams to find out what goes into getting the bleed purple statue. Ironmouse receiving...
So obviously, unlike many other VTubers, she is getting support from the platform. So this is something that kind of distinguishes her from many other VTubers, is that she is getting kind of support there. That's a good thing, right? Hopefully that will extend to other VTubers, right, that are currently having problems with the platform. And in fact, it seems like every week I'm covering VTubers that are having serious issues with Twitch, right?
A statue for 50 million hours watched on the platform, while with 5 million hours watched on the platform also is Sender, saying thank you for staying by my side and giving me the chance to keep doing what I love, along with Lord Athelston, saying this was all way more than I deserve or ever expected. I'm lucky to have lived these experiences everyone has given me. Thank you, Castle Bros. Onwards forever. This all while last night, Ironmouse has now broken her sub record, topping her total subbed record from last year's subathon, and still now at this time secured in the #4 all-time slot. Ironmouse at the time tweeting out, "We did it, we smashed."
And I think right now she's pushing #3, so I think she's about to break through #3 and beat Ninja there.
It. Thank you to my amazing community for changing my life. Longtime friend and manager Roxy saying, well done, Ironmouse. You surpassed last year's sub count as a worm nonetheless. September is not over yet, and there is only one way to go from here, and that's up and over the mountain. Love you.
Also, real quick, I know that she was saying she can't do Pippa the Rippa because she doesn't want to get DMCA'd by Pippa. So this is my message to Pippa and to FaZe. Unleash the Rippa, please. Please. Just it would be so good. Just free the Rippa. I feel like Pippa the Rippa can rip her up into the number 2 slot. I feel like if she drops Pippa the Rippa, it's gonna get some serious subs. I'm just saying, free the Rippa. Come on, Sakana. You know you want to.
The proceeds of the subathon going to the Immune Deficiency Foundation, and also tweeting at Mouse. Huge congratulations to Ironmouse,
which is super cool and a really good cause. One thing that's come really good today, and I'm gonna really focus on this as a positive thing, is all the charity work that's being done. There's a ton of money that's being raised for the Immune Deficiency Foundation. And then during Amelia Watson's graduation, she raised a bunch of money for the Ocean Conservancy. So really to both Ironmouse and Amelia, just really awesome work that they're doing for these charities. And it's really awesome that they're giving to these causes that, you know, number one, this has direct effects, right? This is a direct correlation to her, but also, you know, just in general, they're giving back to these groups that they care about and they want to support. I think that's really fucking awesome.
For becoming the most subscribed creator on Twitch. So well deserved. Thank you for all you do for the Primary Immune Deficiency Foundation. Mouse receiving tons of congratulations, including that even by Jacksepticeye, saying congrats, you're doing amazing things. This all
so good. So see, so real quick, let me back up there real quick. So this is a normal tuber, right? You know, as you kids call them, the flesh tubers, right? Like myself over here. That's positive, saying nice things, which is kind of what you should be doing. Now we're going to have an example of what not to do and how not to be a petty little bitch.
Including that even by Jacksepticeye, saying congrats, you're doing amazing things. This all while Yoxic was here saying, can someone tell me why 200,000 people are subbing to a fictional character on his screen?
I'm not going to lie. This is probably a fan of, or somebody else who's supporting, you know, one of the other creators here. But this is the exact example of someone who needs to shut the fuck up, right? Because once again, if you don't understand something, maybe you should take the time to educate yourself, rather than just spouting your mouth off like this. Right. And I get why people, if somebody says to me, and a lot of other creators, I go on a lot of collabs with other lawyers and stuff, and they'll tell me straight up, and other content creators, they'll be like, I don't understand this VTuber stuff you cover, Andrew. I don't understand it at all. And you know what I tell them? I'm like, that's cool. Right. Just like not everybody has to like comics or has to like dating sims or has to like, you know, first person shooters or whatever else. You don't have to like it. That's cool. That's fine. I have no problem with people say that they don't watch VTubers. That's fine. But what you shouldn't do is go start hating blindly when you have no fucking idea what you're talking about, right? At least get educated and nuanced on the issue, right? At least come in and maybe criticize certain corporations or issues or etc. There's plenty of things, as I cover in the VTuber sphere, there's plenty of things to criticize and things that can be improved in the VTubing industry in general. But this sort of ignorant ass shit, it's really fucking annoying. You know, because before I talk about any of these issues, I do a good amount of at least background research. I mean, for every stream, I probably spend a couple hours at least doing research, reading through, making sure I at least have a basic understanding of what I'm talking about, at least a general understanding of what I'm talking about that I can apply my legal mindset to. These people are just fucking ignorant. Or they're just trying to bait for attention and clicks, etc. Right? You know, trying to get VTuber haters to rally behind them. I think it's really stupid. By the way, Sigrun Attorney says, I'm pretty sure Pippa the Rippa is the most commonly DMCA'd by Pippa herself because she's pretty basically embarrassed by it, despite it being a banger song. Bro, Pippa the Rippa is a fucking banger. I love that song. I mean, other than the Bibu mix, which... there was let me see if I can find it. Yeah, hold on. Sorry. The Bond Show. There was a, there was a clip of small Amy dancing to Bond Show, you know, which is also a banger. Right. But I mean, I don't know why. I really don't know why. I'll play it later. I just pulled it up right now. But I really don't know why people decide to hate. And I don't know why Pippa hates it. It's good. It's good. All right. Let's continue.
This tweet being community noted and saying, although Ironmouse is using
I fucking love community notes. I love community notes just wrecking people. Right? Although Ironmouse is using a virtual avatar, the person behind her is a real human being and not fictional. I love it.
using a virtual avatar. The person behind her is a real human being and not fictional. CDogVA replying, how parasocial do you have to be to care when someone has more subs than your favorite streamer?
And that's what it is. It's the Kai Cenat fans and the other people that are like, oh, look, currently she's a threat, right? Oh my God, I got to come out and I got to stand. It's super parasocial, super toxic behavior. And I don't even like using that word, but this is toxic behavior, right? And definitely Connor W on that response there.
Shoto here with Ironmouse donates to charities, regularly supports artists' livelihoods, and loves streaming more than anyone I know, all while being bedridden from her autoimmune disease. I hope more people can overcome their prejudice. That is a VTuber model and realize she's just a genuinely amazing person who deserves every single sub she receives.
Which is very true about many of the creators, is that they're just genuinely people that are doing what they love, and they're absolutely talented. They're absolutely skilled, right? And I appreciate listening to them. And I love coming in and just lurking in chats and listening to stuff. I've been speaking up in chats a little bit more. People have been catching me in some VTuber chats recently. But like I said, there's a lot where I'm just lurking and listening, right? And I just enjoy it. I just generally enjoy it. Just like Sam Frank for 5 says, I actually enjoy listening to you, to whatever you cover. It's always fun to learn new things. Great. That's awesome. And I try to cover a variety of topics, but I just love the VTuber topics and the communities because I believe that at the end of the day, they can be really, really positive if you make them positive and if you keep them positive. That's my personal belief.
Software responding to that, saying she's Ironmouse and is currently running a subathon where 50% of the revenue goes to the IDF community. Support people doing rad S with their platform. Don't tear them down because you can't spend a second finding out who they are.
Exactly. Very good response here.
Out of here with all streamers are fictional characters.
This is BS. Total BS. Andrew Esquire's my legal name. No.
Oh, Pippi Slayer would tweet, I don't know who needs to hear this, but VTubers are real people. Now, because imagine these people think we AI-generated chatbots or scripted voice-acted characters. If Kai were to use a PNG instead of a face cam, would that make him a fictional character? No. Lucy responding, biggest number good, slightly smaller number bad. My streamer should have bigger number than your fictional character streamer. While Rikami is stating, I see hate on VTubers all the time, but this one time irritates me. Ironmouse getting hate is from people who specifically have never watched her. People being upset about success of another literally shows how ugly you are. That is beginning today.
Okay, so that was that part of it, right? And that actually reminded me of this clip, and there's a good clip here that was just posted, and this is a general clip about VTubers, but this is very, very, very true. So let me play this one here. I don't know who this is actually, but this is a really good clip.
Why are some people mean to VTubers for no reason? Well, literally, not much different from people who have their own characters in MMORPGs, or an anime picture for a display pic, or those who've dipped their feet in RP at one point for Habbo Hotel, I Am View, Gaia Online, or Neopets. So, like, chill. Take VTubers entertainment at face value, would you?
Yeah, and that's what I really like there. It's like at face value, it's good entertainment, right? At face value. So just take it at that. Take it at that. So we got some haters in the chat. Some hater in the chat said, sorry, VTubers are still cringe. Same as PNV tubers or gotcha tubers. They're all obnoxious. Well, guess what? You don't have to watch them, right? And you don't have to watch coverage of it. And what always shocks me is that people feel the need to come around to chats and be haters. Right? If you hate it, why do you spend so much time like coming out here and yelling about it? Like if you have an actual good life, you're going to go out and watch what you love. Like go watch some good content you like. Get the hell out of the chat hating, you know? And that's just my general rule for anything, right? For anything. If you don't like it, just don't watch it. It's your choice, right? It's your choice. All right. So that's what I got for that topic. That's what I got for that topic. So I am very happy for, her hitting goals. Obviously, she's worked hard and deserves it. And, once again, I'm glad that she's hitting those records despite, you know, the Vishojo drama and the channels getting hit on YouTube. I'm glad that's been overcome and worked past. So that's really cool, really awesome. And just want to say I support that. All right, let's talk about conventions, right? Let's talk about conventions. So we're going to be talking about TwitchCon. So before I get into conventions, you know, I think that there's a lot of, I love talking about conventions. I've been to a lot of anime conventions, gaming conventions, tons of other conventions. When I lived in the US for a period of time, probably about 5 or 6 years, I would go to about 5 or 6 conventions a year. Now, I know what most people think when they think of conventions, and this is not entirely inaccurate, right? Of course, we have the famous rainforest, right, where we had ambulances, $100,000 in damage, police bus, because a bunch of furries decided to get crazy and start throwing dry diapers and, you know, shitting in the pool and doing all sorts of other crazy stuff. And frankly, you know, once again, it was genuinely
Disgusting.
And I get that, and that's a fair criticism. And there are conventions that go the way of rainforest, and there are times in which, you know, you're seeing these things go down, you're hearing these stories, and you're like
No. Wait.
But I mean, that's not necessarily all conventions. Some conventions do go right. Some conventions are run well. They have good events. They have good, you know, people that attend who behave themselves, are respectful, clean up after themselves. There are many conventions. In fact, I'd say most conventions that are great because the volunteers are great, the people are great, the fans are great. They can go really, really well, or they can have a ball pit and people can get injured, right? Real quick before we continue here, going into some of this, Silbury says, "No wife stream, not unconscious at work. Yep, I can be here for this one." Sounds good. Sounds good, Silbury. Appreciate you. Welcome, Silbury. Welcome. Wolf and Vings says, "Cringe is love. Cringe is life." Yes, cringe is exactly why we do this. And you know what? For all the cringe,
I'm not sorry, and I did nothing wrong.
Tanya Lodity says, "I can't send a specific super chat to you. Do you have specific rules or something?" No. There's some banned words. Like if you're trying to say something super vulgar, it might be banned. But other than that, we're like completely against TOS, like perhaps. But otherwise, yeah, there's not really too many rules. Just be respectful. Don't spam, right? Be generally have some decorum. And yeah, you're going to be all right. You're going to be all right. Just be generally respectful and you'll be all right. Even if you disagree, and there are people who disagree with me in the chat, that's totally okay. Totally fine. Euro Celine became a new member. Welcome as a new member of the RPG. Appreciate you. And we did our BLM stream. So it means the next member stream will be for all members, including people at the RPG level. So welcome. All right. So I know what most people think of when they think of conventions. Like I said, I think it's pretty dirty. And a lot of people on the internet don't help. And I saw this post, you know, just poking around, looking at conventions, right? And you know, there's always people like this guy, right? Who, you know, is over here saying, since we're on the topic, I want to start a conversation. Why aren't y'all trying to turn anime, comic, movie, TV, and game conventions into a huge orgy / sexual experience? Why not take that same energy to conventions that are quite literally made for that? So you know, people in here, once again, trying to get pretty funky, trying to get pretty degenerate. Now, should I play a clip for this one? We'll do this.
Oh yeah, that's what I like to see. Oh yeah.
And I like this response here, which is sex stuff is pretty much at every con. You have to seek it out though, and it's kind of kept to appropriate areas. If people are doing things in public, they need to go to those kinds of cons, like you said. Yeah, well, once again, I will say a lot of that stuff, closed doors, doesn't happen in public. Although, do some people go there for that specific intent? Absolutely. Do some people go there for bad intent? Absolutely. Which brings us around to TwitchCon. right? Which brings us around to TwitchCon. So going into TwitchCon, you need to understand that there are people that are going to go into, and we're going to watch this video. This is by Mujin. Now, also, he did a great video on this and highly suggest it, which is why we're going to watch it because it's got great background here. But people do go to these things with intentions that may not align with your intentions. And that's where trouble happens, whether it's harassment, whether it's photos that really are uncomfortable, or people that just walk up and grab you and take a photo and they didn't ask your permission or whatever else. Or maybe they walk up and they grab your cosplay and you didn't tell them they could do that. Shit happens like that. And beyond that, when you go to certain things like TwitchCon or creator cons, you have parasocialism. So you have a big issue of both fans thinking they know their content creator in a certain way and doing things they think are appropriate that are wildly inappropriate. And also even content creators viewing it like a chance to move up, to rank up, to meet somebody and gain clout, to become bros with a big person, right? To somehow hit it off with somebody and get in a network, get in a circle and level up, right? Now, I will say that is probably pretty rare. That's probably pretty rare to happen, where you're going to all of a sudden like bump into somebody, they're going to be your best bro at a convention, and you're going to all of a sudden get put on their channel, and you're a 500 follower YouTube streamer or 200 follower Twitch streamer, and you're all of a sudden going to go on a channel with a million views, whatever else, and you're going to become a star. The chances of that happening are pretty rare. In fact, these people typically, you're typically going to go to a convention hanging out with your friends, hanging out with people that are on the same level as you. If you're a content creator, you're probably going to hang out with other content creators because it's generally safer. Of course, there are people that don't exercise this due caution. And as we're going to see as part of this story, I think one of the things that you should know going to this is not just to respect the boundaries of your Oshis, of the people that you are watching, but if you're a content creator, because I know many VTubers watch me, many smaller indies as well, be very careful about the way you approach people and make sure you're respectful, make sure you're thoughtful, make sure you understand that they may not want to be buddies or bros with you or sisters with you the way you want to be with them. So make sure you're respecting their boundaries when you're at these conventions, because I feel like a lot of these problems happen because people are trying to blur boundaries, right? And there's a lot of legal issues that can come, including criminal charges. Look, if you sexually harass somebody, if you touch somebody, if you assault them, that's going to be something that is criminal, particularly if it's in the United States. One Punch Man said, I missed you on Good Logic, 100K sub celebration. Oh, that's really cool. I was not invited, but that's because I have a pretty strong policy against doing panel streams. And also, if there's anybody that will cause any drama for me for a panel stream, everybody knows not to invite me, because I don't want to be on the stream with somebody who might be dramatic or whatever else. And I've had this conversation with Good Logic several times. So he didn't invite me, but that's probably because he knew my rule already. We've been around for a while of there's going to be other people on stream. I'm not coming, right? And I've been invited to panels and turned them down because I see who's coming, and I'm like, nope, I'd rather just solo stream. It's not worth drama. So cool though, and you know what? Good for him. Awesome. He's worked hard. He's put in a lot of content, and he has a very specific type of content. Eldon Wild, what's up? Says, I feel like some people make innocent things sus. Exactly. Eldon, and I know I just followed you on Twitter, right? So people, oh, Legal Mindset just followed you on Twitter. Now you're in trouble, right? Now we have a parasocial relationship, my friend. Now it's sus. But seriously though, send me those articles if you got some articles regarding any throwback or censorship right and left. I want to do another stream on that. Tanya Lalabi says, I'm trying to ask your credit cards because I don't want to buy certain cards. I think you know the cards. I was wondering if you could explain them now or another stream. Well, what do you want me to explain? I don't know what you're asking me to explain. But anyways, for abroad, typically I just have debit cards because I have a foreign bank accounts. So I just use my foreign bank accounts generally. And then PayPal. So I don't really use US credit cards. Bologna Bay says, do you still hang out with Legal Vices IRL? Yes, I'm going to hang out with them in Korea. I'm going to be in Korea next month. And actually, I'll have a video coming out. We're doing the last call This is going to be the last week or two. You know, I may, if you get in contact with me, I may give you a little baby extension, but this is going to be the last call for Korea. We've got a couple slots open. If you still are interested, let me know. There's going to have a video. I'm going to put a video probably on this channel and on Go East and Gentlemen, just for those that may want to get on that train. But yes, Legal Vices will be there. My friend Ben will be there, right? Others will be there. So it should be a really great time in Seoul, South Korea, November 1st, November 9th. All right. But yeah, it'll be really cool to hang out with him in Seoul. I look forward to it. All right. So let's listen to what happened at the TwitchCon 2024. This is once again Mujin. Fully recommend his video. Go over there, like his video, subscribe to his channel. He's a great guy. I know he watches my channel sometimes and looks at my content. So turnabout is fair play when I use his summaries because he has some really good background here.
TwitchCon is the biggest streamer convention held yearly. It's also ridiculously expensive, but guys, don't worry, it's worth it. I mean, you get to meet your role models, your idols, the people you look up to, your favorite streamers. But if you happen to go as the streamer, it's even better because you're getting to meet up with your wonderful fans and your coworkers.
By the way, just as a comment here on these prices, this is not this is like pretty normal to me from what I see of most convention prices nowadays. I do think this is expensive, but there's like, especially if you're having a con in like California, right? The costs are going to be ridiculous. I've seen the budgets of conventions. They're usually not making a ton of money. So this is probably even subsidized. But yeah, it's expensive, but it's about normal for what I see.
You also get to be directly harassed on stream by someone trying to get some clout.
See, this is fucking disgusting. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. And this is, once again, this is assault. See, even the is Nick, actually, sorry, my avatar's in the way. The title there you can see is Nick and Wake Get Assaulted. This guy is literally licking his nipple. He is licking his nipple. Like, that's not okay. It's fucking disgusting, right? Let's play the clip.
Disgusting.
Fighting monkey とかさ。
And I'm just saying, like
What the fuck?
what are you doing? Like, do you really think that you're gonna become famous because you like went up and like must like lick somebody's nipple? Like, you're gonna be that guy? They're gonna be like, you know what? Whatever, guy, girl, whatever. Sorry. Did I misgender? Did I misgender?
Oh, please! I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. Wait.
Thank you. By the way, thank you for the Fillion clip. Whoever, I got sent that one recently. But whatever that is, look, whatever this is fucking unwanted. It's unnecessary, right? Keep your hands to yourself. Keep your mouth to yourself. Keep your appendages to yourself. Completely unwarranted. Too late, Andrew. Canceled. Yeah, I'm going to get canceled for that, right? Yeah, Gestapo's on its way. That's it. It's over. It's over for me, boys. I misgendered. It's over for me. We're done here, boys. Wrap it up. It's been nice. It's been a good show, guys. It's been real. I like how the Fillion clip is appropriately loud. That's Fillion. That's just Fillion being Fillion. That's not increasing the volume at all. So yeah, this is fucking inappropriate. And once again, your 2 minutes of clout here is not worth it. Chaos Smash said, Andrew misgendered somebody.
I'm not sorry, and I did nothing wrong.
Thanks, brother. I'll continue with my shenanigans.
Yes, this popular streamer is getting his nipple kissed without his consent. That's right. TwitchCon, everybody. Make sure to come next year. Yeah, there was a lot of harassment this year. It was a disaster, guys.
The amount of clips I've seen of Kick streamers harassing people at TwitchCon is insane. I feel like the main thing stopping the platform from succeeding are some people on it. Well, once again, this is now from a liability standpoint, this is partly on TwitchCon and Twitch. If they can't adequately protect people, they need to start doing a better job of screening, a better job of like just kicking people out, like in general, and also like who gets in and who gets out, right? just need to look and see, hey, look, if this person is a nuisance streamer, like look up their name. And if they're a nuisance streamer, like you need to ban them from the con, right? So I'm sorry, if they come up and they're a Johnny Somali type streamer, just fucking ban them from the convention. Like they just can't come in, period. I think that's, I mean, cons have a duty to, if they know their name, they know who they are, they know their like online handles. It's basic due diligence. Just fucking ban them. Right. And at some point, when somebody gets hurt, because these people, these nuisance streamers are constantly going to do crazier shit, it's going to be a bigger legal issue, and that's going to come on Twitch. That's going to come back on Twitch because they are responsible for the safety and security of that event. Right? Kick. Yes, exactly. Elton Wild says, LGBT here to say, oof, LMFAO. The Orcosaurus as a new member. Welcome. Appreciate you, member of the RPG. Yeah, all are welcome here, but not those that are easily offended. Oh, man, let's continue.
As it was so many streamers got harassed. People ran after them, trying to make their own content. It was really pathetic. But ignore all that, it's just noise. As we know, the convention itself is nothing more than an excuse to just go to San Diego with all your fellow streamers and party like there's no tomorrow. This isn't just exclusive to TwitchCon. Every convention kind of works that way. As a streamer, the real way to grow your network, meet new friends, and create new business opportunities doesn't happen in the convention itself. It happens behind closed doors.
This is a little bit, actually, I'm going to dissent on this. So Mugen is saying that the real business happens behind closed doors. No, not at all. I really disagree with this. So I think that nothing significant about your career as a VTuber or a streamer or even a flesh tuber or whatever else will come of a convention. Conventions are not going to blow up your career. The only thing a convention will do, it is two things. Okay? It is two things. It has a chance to completely ruin your career. And we're going to talk about how it can completely ruin your career. It can completely destroy your career, right? Or it's an opportunity to relax. And only if you do it right. If you do it wrong, it's going to become a nightmare that is not relaxing at all. But if you do it right and you're safe and whatever else, it can be an opportunity to relax and chill and maybe interact with fans if you want, if that's enjoyable for you, right? Some people, that's a nightmare. They don't want to interact with people face to face, but it can destroy you totally. And one of the things, especially for VTubers, which a lot of people need to read their contracts, particularly agency VTubers. This is a special warning for those that are in agencies. Going to a convention could, under certain circumstances, violate your contract. For example, if your contract says do not dox yourself and you dox yourself inadvertently at a convention, if it's only because a kick streamer comes up, sees your name tag that says I'm Andrew VTuber and pulls your mask off or whatever, and somebody takes a photo, right? Because there's that instant where they yank your mask off or yank your costume or whatever, and somebody takes a photo of you, doxes you, right? That could violate the provision of your contract, which might say, hey, you need to keep your identity secret. And that is a clause I've seen in many different agencies' contracts, not just one, but different agencies. And I've reviewed a lot, including a lot I don't talk about publicly because I keep it confidential. There's many contracts. In fact, I can say I reviewed a new contract this week for a VTuber, right? There's a lot going on. You need to be very careful, and you don't want to ruin your career because you decided, hey, I want to go get fucking drunk at TwitchCon, right? It's safer to do that with your friends, to people that you know, other content creators, and people that respect those boundaries, right? People that respect those boundaries. Let's continue.
In the parties or hotel rooms, but we're not here to talk about that. There are so many parties and mixers and lunches and dinners. It's ridiculous.
And if you like to do that, that's awesome. Some people go crazy, like there's parties, raves, whatever. I used to go to Dragon Con a lot. I've talked about this before. There's some fantastic parties. I went to some of the best parties ever. The really cool themed parties. There's like the Harry Potter one. There's a Star Wars one. There was all sorts of really fucking awesome parties where people are like, raving, dancing, whatever, and like, in full cosplay to like really awesome music with great DJs. There's cool stuff that can happen, but there's also some shit that can go down. And there's also private parties, which can be invite only, which can get really weird, right? Depending on if you know the people or whatever else, you have to exercise caution, right? If it's some sort of invite only, friends only thing, and it ends up being some weird rainforest-esque situation where you got furries and baby diapers, I mean, you may end up walking in the room, looking around and saying,
No. Wait.
so be very, very careful what parties you go to.
But now imagine being a smaller streamer and getting access to a party that is highly exclusive.
So this is the controversial party. This is the party by Blerp and Meld, right? Meld Studio and Blerp. So we're going to go into this one. This is really the one that created the main problem here of this issue. And this is the one that's we're going to talk about. But I'm trying to extract this to a broader sense. It isn't just about Blerp, right? Because Blerp fucked up here for sure, 100%. But this is not something that's unique to TwitchCon. Right? This can happen at any convention, anywhere, even smaller conventions.
Top DJ performers and an RSVP list that is checked on a
if your party is run by P. Diddy, you perhaps should not attend.
Case-by-case basis to see whether you're...
Why is everyone calling Bow out in the chat right now? Like, why is everyone calling Bow out in the chat? Just saying.
Famous enough to attend, and you somehow get approved. You'll meet large creators, successful creators, creators that you might be a mega fan of. This is a dream come true. And I'm sure you'd be expecting the party of a lifetime. You surely wouldn't be expecting someone to spike your drink with a very powerful drug when you're not looking. So
actually, this is a very common problem. For a while, legal mindset lore time. Legal mindset lore. I was a bartender for about a year. Very common. I had this over the course of a year happen twice at the bar I was at and talking with other bartenders because we had like industry nights where I would talk about the people. It happens, a larger bar, a lot of people there. Shit happens. You have to be careful. You have to exercise caution when you're drinking, especially if you're frankly, I'll say it once again, it's a special risk, especially to women, although it does happen to men, right? It can happen to men too. I in fact know a guy who's a friend of mine, an actual friend who got roofied at a party. Whether it was intentional or unintentional, who knows? But, he was with friends that were able to drag him out. But this is a big problem. You should be afraid of this and careful with this at every single place you go, anywhere, right? Period. Do not leave your drink on a table and walk away. And honestly, don't ask your friends to watch it because it's not their responsibility. What I do is if I'm out, even myself, I'm a 6'6" dude, right? I'm a 6'6" dude. And I go and bring my drink with me, right? If I'm going to the bathroom, that drink comes with me. I don't leave that drink anywhere, like nowhere, right? And it could also be, by the way, other things can happen, like staff can even put some extra shit in your drink, or somebody else could put some shit in your drink to get you to buy more, or like loosen you up, whatever else, right? You got to be very conscious of your state of inebriation, where you are, your surroundings, who you're with. Be very, very conscientious of that.
Point where you can't even move your lips at some point because your entire body is limp. You also wouldn't be expecting the fire marshals to show up because somehow this exclusive party with very limited space got overcrowded. And finally, you also wouldn't be expecting the party organizer to find your post on Twitter complaining about this and double down while being extremely defensive and making a complete clown out of himself. Yeah. These things actually happened. It's a catastrophe. So let's talk about it. So as I mentioned, when it comes to conventions, it's really just all about the parties happening around it. But when you go to a convention...
That's not necessarily true. I mean, to be honest, like you can go to a convention because you want to make a presentation, you want to make a speech, you want to interact with your fans, you want to buy merch, you want to meet somebody, you want to get an autograph, you want to get a photograph. Honestly, to be honest, I don't go to, and I never went to conventions solely for the parties, right? I think if I was going to go somewhere solely for partying, I would just do that with my friends. I wouldn't go to a convention for that, right? However, some of the conventions do have a side benefit of having good parties and good events, etc. But that wasn't the sole reason why I went, right? I think that's a weird reason, just if you're just going to the parties.
As a VTuber, it's not really
Also,
as straightforward.
If you're just using it as like a dating app, essentially, which I know is a kind of a VTuber issue, is like using VTubing as a dating vehicle, right? Like that's also a little weird, right? So if you're just using a convention like just as that, now that said, if you want to meet somebody that's cool and it's organic, that's fine. But don't try to force something when there's nothing there.
As a normal streamer going there. One of the main reasons why they are VTubers in the first place is for anonymity. They want to keep their real identity secret. So they'll either go there virtually, meeting up their fans through a screen, or they'll go physically, but make sure to wear a mask or a cap or sunglasses or something to stay incognito, and only take off these things with people they trust, with friends who understand their situation. This is why they can't just go to any party at TwitchCon, right? Because not all of them understand their precarious situation of having to stay anonymous. People could be streaming there, taking pictures, whatever. They have to go to a party that understands privacy. That's where this highly exclusive party came in, called the After Party Blerp X Meld. It was hosted on Thursday, September 19th from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. It was a private event. You would have to register on this website and hope that they approve you, because they would look at everyone from a case-by-case basis.
That's good. And honestly, I'm a fan of making your part. If you're going to make an after party, you need to make that thing super exclusive and be careful, because you are liable. So from a legal sense with these after parties, both, in fact, if this is a sponsored after party, then Twitch is also responsible, right? Because it's TwitchCon. If it's sponsored, if it's an unofficial after party, then the host is legally responsible. So in this case, it would be Blerp and Meld. I actually don't know to what extent Twitch acknowledged this one or blessed it. If it was, for example, on their official events list, that would probably be enough to imply liability if something really fucked up happened. And make no mistake, if there's a problem and there's a lawsuit, the lawyers are going to sue everybody. They're going to sue Twitch anyways. But what I'm saying is, in terms of actually being able to get them to pay out, or at least to settle, if it's an official event, the liability is going to be a little bit more strong, right? In that case, it doesn't mean it's an open and shut case. Doesn't mean Twitch is always going to be responsible, or the convention would always be responsible. But that's one of the big distinctions if you're running a after party, right? So you might want to consider, if you want to make it something that kind of doesn't burden the convention, making it unofficial, right? If it's official, you get the burden of them sponsoring you, but they also get to have some say in security and procedures, right? Oftentimes, if it's an official after party, they'll require you to have a ticket to the event. So you'll have to have a TwitchCon ticket, right? Now they were trying to be even more exclusive and only let in creators, but that didn't really work out for a multitude of reasons.
And yes, the amount of followers you had and the amount of viewers you would get played a big role in whether you would get accepted or not. There were exceptions, of course, just like any party, but you definitely had to be a Twitch partner minimum. Because let's see the description. It says, the TwitchCon partner after party, come hang with some of the top creators and brands in the industry. Enjoy music with Twitch's top DJ creators in the main lobby, or relax on the rooftop terrace to network and meet other creators and brands. And then they add, we have zero tolerance for physical, verbal, or sexual harassment. This includes non-consensual touching, violence, discriminatory language, or any behaviors that have a negative impact on the experience or the physical safety of other guests.
So real quick, though, this is, of course, legal language. I'm sure they had somebody put this up. Of course, everyone's going to say we have zero tolerance, but the point is, are you enforcing this? If you say you have zero tolerance, then you need to enforce zero tolerance, right? So that's... You're going to have a policy, you need to enforce it. That's a huge thing.
If a problem or concern arises, guests are encouraged to locate a staff member for assistance. While on the dance floor, we encourage guests to keep conversations to a minimum and phones in their pockets. Just keep this paragraph in mind because it'll be even funnier later, okay? So from the rules, it says 21 plus must show ID at the door. No streaming inside the venue. This is a very important thing for VTubers who want to stay anonymous and not...
Right, and once again, they say that, but frankly, I'm of the mind. This is my personal opinion, and I know some of you don't like this. Some of you are going to get mad at me when I say this, but I think for a lot of events, particularly if there's VTubers, they need to confiscate phones, right? Especially if people are going to be there without a mask or whatever else, they need to be like, all right, check your phones at the door. And they put them in a fucking Faraday bag or whatever, or they can give you a little Faraday bag or whatever that's going to cut it, and you have to wait till you get out to unseal it. But frankly, there's too much risk, and once again, you're putting yourself at a huge risk if doxing is dangerous for you, right? If you're in, not just for VTubers, for other streamers as well. If doxing is dangerous for you, then they need to be very, 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 very careful, right? And take that very, very seriously.
Get caught in someone's stream. And plus,
also, yo, Yellow Flash, I see you in the chat. What's up, brother? Good to see you, brother. What the hell did he say? Did Mindset go over that? Yeah, I did it last stream, bro. You're late. I already did it. But I'll talk about it. I'll talk about it again because I feel like I need to come back and hit that from all sorts of censorship level, right? And I think it was Eldon Wild here in the chat. He was talking about it before. He says, "Yeah, I'm so mad at you because I agree." But yeah, he was talking on Twitch that it's a problem because both the right and the left, in a weird way, are censorious when it comes to stuff like nudity or perceived nudity from both sides, right? And I think it needs to be fully clapped on both sides. We need to both defeat the censors on the right and the left because I think they're both full of shit, and in different ways. In different ways, they're full of shit. Right? Let's continue.
Ones are allowed, but must have their own accepted RSVP as well, which should be a good thing because it means that no one random is going to be showing up as a +1 either. Everyone is going to be vetted manually. Keep all of this in mind for later. So this is hosted by Blerp and Meld Studio. Meld Studio is nothing more than the sponsor Blerp was partnering with, but this is really Blerp's party. This wasn't really the first time Blerp had made a TwitchCon type party. He had made 2 last year during TwitchCon 2023 in Las Vegas, and they were...
By the way, I've never fucking heard of this guy. Like, I didn't know who he is. Like, I had to look him up. And I think he's got a good amount of followers, but he's like a 28.6, right? Here, let me pull him up real quick on X so you guys see this. Where is this? Where's this guy? Here he is. Blerp. Over here, Blerp, making doing some sound memes, etc. Right? 28.6 here, followed by some folks. So there you go. There's your boy. There's Blerpy, right? Whether he's your boy is another question, but that's what's going on with him. Let's continue this.
As far as I can tell. The first one being a masquerade event, and the second one being a paid VIP party. So Blerp is someone with an established reputation. This is why people had high expectations and so many high-profile VTubers went there. It unfortunately ended in complete disaster. Now, this all started when Hades, a VTuber from the Mythos agency...
Once again, I don't know the Mythos agency's contract. I don't think I've seen that one. But that said, she could have a risk. Anybody else with an agency, I haven't seen their contract. So they could have a risk of their identity. So if someone roofies them, and even if they don't, sexually assault them, let's say all they do when they roofie a VTuber is they pull down their mask and they take a photo of them, right? That's just as bad. And sorry, I said that wrong. Let me be very, I don't want people are going to take that out of context. It's bad it's bad in general, right? It's not comparative, right? You can't compare one type of assault to another type of assault, but to dox someone is bad. I would say even it should be criminal, right? As a form of harassment, right? And I think in California, with the way their harassment statute is written, I think they could even have some criminal repercussions there because that's intentionally trying to target them for the purpose of harassment, right? So I think that could even be criminal, right? If they did something like that, right? Which, once again, these are special VTuber considerations, and these are some of the cons, or at least the things you need to be careful of as a VTuber.
Made one tweet saying, "I think I was drugged at the bar." She then clarified.
So, I mean, that's concerning right there in and of itself. So he says, quote unquote, high profile. Yeah, that's true. Who is high profile? And King Lugia, thank you for the 1 Legal Mindset membership. Indeed. Also, before we continue, this is a good one. Lenmar says for 10 euros, hi, Andrew. I just want to warn people that here in Europe, criminals have moved on from roofied drinks. They use micro injectors now. It feels like being stung by a mosquito. Be very fucking careful, right? I've seen some European crime statistics that are scary. But that said, be very careful. Judge your safe based on how you feel. If you feel like you're starting to get sick or ill, don't tough it out. Tell your friends, tell somebody who's in the staff, go get help, Don't like try to power through if you start feeling woozy or lightheaded or whatever. Don't try to just do one more shot or be the man or the woman or whatever else. Like, you need to go and get somebody who's going to help you. Look, I've been young and in those positions where I thought I was tough and I want to do a bunch of shots and impress my friends and all that stuff. It's not worth it. And the risk to your life and your safety are not worth it either. It's just not worth it. So be a little bit safer. Yeah, the angel drink, right? Yeah, or the angel drink. Get somebody to help you out.
With this tweet saying, an update. I am awake now. We don't know what actually happened to me last night other than I just wasn't okay. I was in no state to go to the hospital as I don't have insurance, and so I did not receive any tests to see if I had something in my system.
I will say this is kind of fucked up, and this is one of the things that is really, 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 really sad, right? Is that when people will not go and get help because they don't have insurance. That's just, it really sucks. And one of the things that really sucks about the VTubing industry is that everybody is an independent contractor, so they don't really have access a lot of times to health insurance and other things like that, which are basic health necessities like checking whether you've been roofied shouldn't be something you prevent yourself from going in. I'm over here in Asia, but I go to the doctor all the time. I go to the doctor if there's a minor problem, like even with or without insurance, I'd still go to the doctor, right? But that's because the costs are affordable and I can pay out of pocket and it's not a problem. This is a serious issue. And I would say, look, don't let, I know the costs are serious, but you should really take your health in the high consideration to check things like this out. And also, yes, you're right. If she'd gone to law enforcement, they would have ordered the test, which wouldn't cost anything. That's a very good point. Very good point there. If she'd gone to law enforcement, they would have gotten or reported it, they would have gotten the test. That's a very, very, very good point. Also, a very good point from Brad, who said you need to have a trusted wingman when you go out to clubs and bars. I agree with that as well. You should have a buddy, whether they're the designated driver or there's somebody who's going to watch you. It's smarter to be safe, right? And even as a guy, I go out with friends. I don't go out alone pretty much anywhere. If I'm going out to drink or whatever else, I never go by myself.
Suspect my drink may have been spiked due to how sick and horrible and drunk I felt after only 2 drinks, even 3 to 4 hours out from leaving the bar. I felt very wrong and overall not okay. I was in a terrible headspace and honestly should not have been tweeting, and I apologize for anyone I may have worried. Thankfully, my friends took care of me, so I am safe no matter what caused me to feel that way. So this probably happened in a bar around downtown, not too far from where TwitchCon was being held.
My girl Sayu here. Shout out to Sayu, big Sayu love. So glad you're okay. Crazy things are bound to happen. So you all did well to combat it. Always best to go with friends, and glad you looked out for each other. Smart move here for that. Also, Rima, we got our favorite horse girl here. Horse is in the chat for Rima, saying, thank God you're all right. Hope you get some rest there. So big love for my girl Sayu and Rima there.
Held, and it's a very unfortunate reality. This is why you have to keep your eye on your drink at all times, and even then, it's not enough sometimes. That's why you're meant to be with friends, and that's exactly what Hades had done. She was with a bunch of different VTubers from Mythos, and they were able to get her out of there safely. And thankfully, nothing crazy had happened. But then, all of a sudden, Imuki, a different VTuber, quote-tweeted that update from Hades and said this: I was also roofied last night at a VIP party. I'm safe and okay. Had a wonderful group of friends to help me. Stay safe, gamers, and cover your drinks.
So now this is different because then when you get at the VIP party, right? But when you start to have a trend here, it might even be the same dude, right? Or woman. Once again, I'm not trying to assume it's a man necessarily. It could be a woman. Who knows, right? You never know, right? Man, woman, whatever, right? Person who is doing this.
Now, all of a sudden, this isn't just some random bar. This is a VIP party. So as many people were wondering what the hell had happened exactly, Imuki adds this: I've been roofied before, so I knew the signs. I couldn't move my entire body for a good 40 minutes. Thankfully for the friends I have, but genuinely fuck Blerp for having drink covers and not giving them out.
Now, this is going to be a controversy that goes back and forth of whether or not they had this or not. Legally, you don't have to have it, right? You don't have to provide a quote unquote drink cover, right? You should be responsible for your own drink. But that said, if you did have them and not give them out, that would be a super dick move, right? If you actually had drink covers and give them out, right? But legally, do you have to have it? No, right? But once again, this is why my policy is be your own judge, be responsible for yourself, because the only person who can really take care of yourself is yourself at the end of the day. And that's why you have to take these precautions on your own.
I'll talk about it when I get home more, but I'm just shaken up and pissed my friends had to carry my limp body back to the Airbnb when we just wanted to have a nice party. Do better, Blerp. So first off, really unfortunate that you got roofied before and know exactly how it feels. And second off, she was directly saying that this was Blerp's fault for not handing out drink covers when they were already present at the party. Not only is this a massive accusation, but we also confirmed she was talking about the highly exclusive after party hosted by Blerp. Things were getting...
And once again, so if you're roofied at a bar, does the bar, let's talk about liability for a second. So I want to, once again, we do entertainment education. If you're roofied at a bar, is the bar liable for what happens to you after you're roofied? Well, that's a very good question. If they exercise ordinary care and reasonable care and they're not negligent, then no, they're not going to be responsible, right? So if they act like a normal bar would, then no, even if you're roofied there, they don't have an absolute duty to protect you against people doing crazy criminal shit. People are going to do crazy criminal shit, right? And sometimes there's genuinely nothing they can do to prevent that, right? Also, like was even mentioned by Linmar, it is hard to detect these things. These things are getting smaller. They're able to be smuggled in, right, relatively easily. So the fact that they were able to sneak it in, it's hard for security to stop people from getting these things inside, right? It's very, very difficult for that. So you do need to stay safe yourself. However, here's the turn. If they were not exercising normal care, or if they knew there was a risk and they just let that risk happen, then they could be liable. And also, if they didn't do something that was easy to do to fix the problem, and they could have, right? Like, for example, if they had drink covers, they intentionally didn't give them out, right? Well, that might be an issue there, right? If there was something that happened, let's say somebody got in an accident, somebody got assaulted, right? There was a crime that was committed, right? There could be some liability there. But yes, you are an adult. You do have to take care of yourself. But there's the law as well, right? There's law as well. Speaking of law, $50 from Leprechaun Gold. Listen, I looked at that for a second and I'm like,
Do you even know what you're saying, card man? I don't even understand. I'm fucking illiterate. Do I look like I know how to read? No, I don't know how to read.
At first, I thought I was reading it wrong, but then I realized 50. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate that. Professor Keen, member for 7 months, says, now my mom is watching. Hi. Well, my mom watches too. So we got a lot of moms out there. I'm a big fan of the moms. Big fan of Pecco Mama too. Shout out to Pecco Mom. Professor Keen says, did the guy spiking the drinks bald and have a barcode tattoo on the back of his head? No, but I mean, sometimes that's the guy, right? Sometimes that's the guy. Also, Tanya Labi says, is there only Visa and Master, or are there others? I want to buy, I think, shop my credit cards. I can't find any others because I don't want to buy Visa or MasterCard. Well, all the credit cards are woke and crazy and shit. If you want to go with, American Express or Discover, have at it. But I mean, they all use the same shitty tactics and they're all pretty corrupt. So, have at it. They're going to try to get you to overspend. Pie Baker says, I tapped 2 Pikachus to digivolve my pot of greed into Rathalos in defense mode and attack your waifus directly, thus sending your Zaku to high charity and to end my turn. Your move, nerd. Literally, you just combined every nerd thing into one sentence. I applaud you, but I also award you 0 points. But I do appreciate that. Hold on. Actually, I gotta 10 to 1. There's
Hello, what up, nerds?
You guys are such nerds. You can put stuff like that together. Seriously. Jacob Andrew said for 25 said, not American. What does the law say about using those pills on someone? That's illegal. That's illegal. If they're caught, that's a criminal act. First of all, it probably is a controlled substance. Whatever they were using, it's probably controlled substance. They probably should not possess that. And they're doing it with criminal intent. They're doing it with intent to assault, molest, grape, whatever else, right? Take advantage of somebody. Yeah, that's crime. Now, is it hard to catch? Is it hard to prove? Yes. But if they get caught, there are consequences for that. For sure. They can go to jail for that. Absolutely.
Serious now. A couple days later, after Mookie went back home and had time to process, she finally posts her statement. Here's what it had to say. My statement about being roofied at the 2024 Friday TwitchCon.
And understand, by the way, understand if this is actually legally. So, sorry, let me explain this. If you are forcing something into somebody's body without their consent, that's the same as if you touched them without your consent or you did something else with their consent. You're literally drugging someone, right? Poisoning someone, right? It doesn't matter that it's invisible versus visible. There's no really difference between somebody poisoning you and stabbing you with a knife in terms of they're impacting your body, right? Again, without your consent, right? In a way that injures you.
Blerp VIP party, trigger warning. To start with, this was mostly a VTuber party full of larger creators who were not.
Yeah, shout out to all the mamas out there. You're much loved.
Not wearing their usual facial disguises and coverings, meaning we all thought it was a safe space to vibe and meet other creators. And it was, for a little. About 2 hours into it, the party started getting a bit more.
Well, someone in the chat asked, why is it called roofing? It comes from the drug Rufinol. Rufinol is not the only drug you can use, but for a while, Rufinol was the most popular drug. It's spelled ROHYPNOL, Rufinol. That was a very common drug. It is not the only drug, but that's why it was shortened to roofies, right? It's not the only drug, but essentially these drugs will make you unable to move, right? You'll be unable to essentially fight back. Many times you won't remember. Your memory will be wiped, right? Which is why it's often referred to as the date grape drug, we'll say, right? Once again, it's a very sensitive topic. We're definitely going to be demonetized for talking about this, but I don't give a fuck because warning people about dangerous situations is important. And it's more important to educate people and keep people safe than worry about YouTube's piddly ass monetization. So, there you go. But just be careful. Once again, can you go to conventions and none of this will happen? Yeah, sure. I've gone to a million conventions and I've never been roofied, right? However, I've always been safe. I've always been thoughtful and I've always been very careful. And I've also really stuck with my friends when I go. And my friends have always had my back. Always.
More crowded, and I remember thinking I didn't see this many people on the guest list we all registered for. In other words, the security to a VIP party was shit. One of my close friends noticed their water tasted funny and only took a few sips but started feeling off, which I knew was most likely a low-grade roofie. While waiting for their Uber with them, I notified the security guard, who yelled at us for taking up the walkway, shaking my head, that she was most likely roofied. Shortly after she was picked up, it hit me hard. Now, for context, I have been roofied before, so I know how it feels, but this was something much, much more severe. Once I started feeling heavy and unable to read well, I immediately ran to the bartenders, who I befriended, to let them know I'd been roofied and to take precautions. I was informed at that point that they had drink covers and were not handing them out.
Now, if this is true, that's some negligence right there. If they had them and were not handling them out. And also if they knew there was a risk. So if there was already an incident with somebody who'd already been roofied and then they didn't give them out afterwards, then they know that there was a risk and they didn't take a precaution potentially. Once again, that's in where I'm talking about if there was a potential lawsuit. It doesn't look like there's any lawsuits coming out of this, but I'm just doing the illegal analysis as a hypothetical, just so you guys are able to learn and think about the law here as we go through these fact patterns. But once again, if you have a precautionary measure and you don't take it, is it possible that could be negligent? Maybe.
My friends, thank God they were there, had to carry my limp, hyperventilating body out of the party, which was soon blocked off by the fire marshals for overcrowding. For about 2 hours after that, I could only move my mouth, mumbling, and my eyelids. My point in this is that it was a VIP party with major creators there who felt it was a safe environment to demask.
If there's people out there that are roofing people, so right, this is a party where there's people that are roofing people. Do you think it's safe at this party for VTubers who might have a severe risk of being doxxed to demask and to walk around just like, like, hey, dox me or take a photo of me, right? Because how many people are taking secret photos, might have like whatever hidden cams or like whatever else, might be taking video, right? Like if they were able to get in there with that, what else were they able to get in there with?
Had drink covers and did nothing, and security was shit and started letting God knows who in after a few hours. They had a responsibility to take care of us and did not. My con was ruined and I spent the rest of it shaken up and scared to drink anything but water. Do better, Blerp.
Well, it's not even because even water, actually, that's not even accurate because her friend got roofied when she was drinking water. Literally, it says one of my close friends noticed their water tasted funny. So it's not what you're drinking. It's you need to watch who's around it and you need to make sure that you are watching it. don't like turn away or whatever else and leave your drink on the table, right? That's going to be a problem.
This wasn't
also, please like the video. I know this is serious content, but I mix the serious with the fun, and we're going to go back to some good news after this. It's not going to be all darkness. Don't worry about it, guys. But if you could like the video, we have 1,000 people here and only 370 likes. So let's get to 500, and that's just a couple hundred away. So guys, if you like the video right now, much appreciated for this type of coverage.
just a roofie. This was one hell of a drug. Something wasted.
Yeah, okay. Someone in the chat said bottled water. Yeah, bottled water if you keep putting back on the top. So like you just do like what I do right here with my bottled water, right? So like you're taking a sip of the bottled water, right? Top goes right back on. So there's no point at which the top is not on the bottle, right? But if it's just an open glass of tap water, that's the same as a drink.
Stronger than the usual. And I think regardless of your gender in this situation, I'm sure you can imagine how scary it is to only be able to move your eyelids and your lips barely while the rest of your body stays limp. This is horrible, a complete horror story. But we were only left with more questions. How does a VIP party go so out of control so quickly? What were the fire marshals here for? Well, Blerp felt the need to reply to this post because it went viral. Here's what he had to say.
That's why most people respond to shit. It's only because it goes viral. If it doesn't go viral, they don't give a fuck. But when it goes viral, they're like, oh, well, I guess I got to respond now. You know, it's kind of ridiculous. It's kind of ridiculous.
Hey, Amelia, great start. Already misspelling her name. This is the second case we've heard of someone that got their drink spiked, and we're so upset that happened to you and so glad you're recovering okay. Unfortunately, we did not have any drink covers for the party, nor did we communicate that we will have any, but at future parties we will be sure to provide them. Please let us know if there's anything we can do to help you through this. Then Imuki replied. She said, first, it's Imuki. I'm not okay, and even without the drink covers, it was your responsibility at a VIP invite-only party with several big names to make sure the only people allowed in were on the list. Drink covers or not, this is on you. Blerpy did not.
Someone's asking, mindset, is there someone here that you need to worry about to keep your drink cap? No, I mean, I'm just saying I keep my drink cap now because I don't want to spill it, right? Because this is around a lot of electronics around my computer. So I don't want to, if I drop this, I don't want to spill it. But the same practice would apply if you're at a party with people you don't know.
Not let this die here. No, he had to reply again, saying, sorry, Imuki, it auto-corrected. Everyone that got in was manually approved by us and our sponsors. The venue capacity was 350 and we only let 325 on the roof, and at one point 15 had to wait for others to leave to get in. There were no +1s or otherwise that were allowed in without an invitation. We denied nearly 500 plus RSVPs for the event. There was security at check-in to get wristbands, security to get onto the elevators, and security to get onto the roof itself.
But that doesn't mean the security was doing their job. So you can have security that's crawling out the ass, but if they're not doing their job, it doesn't matter, right? I think about times in which I've gone through TSA, and there have been a million TSA agents, and they haven't done their damn job in terms of, you know, what they should be doing at, let's say, airport security, right? You can have a bunch of people who are incompetent, or whether they're told, they're maybe directed not to stop people for X, Y, or Z. Maybe they weren't patting people down properly. Maybe they weren't patting people down at all, right?
We absolutely agree we should have had drink covers for all guests. As we stated in our direct message to you, we'd be happy to discuss options to make this right to you and any other guests that were affected. Now, I don't know about you, but this response does sound pretty damn passive-aggressive to me. And it's not the kind of reassuring statement you're meant to give to someone who just got roofied at one of your own parties. Oh yeah, we manually approved every guest on the list. We had security everywhere. Okay, man, that's great. Now, how did a bioweapon make it through your security so easily? A drug that can knock every part of your body out for 2 hours or more. Good to know that you manually approved the person who did this coming into your party. Wonderful job. This only made him look like a clown. I mean, come on.
Manual approval, once again, saying you manually approved it. I wouldn't have said that, because then if it turns out that this person was like a monster or a criminal, well, then you've manually approved a criminal. So I wouldn't have even said that, right? I mean, it just sounds ridiculous, right, to say that. Also, speaking of ridiculous, Leprechaun Gold with another $50. Thank you so much. Yes. Appreciate that. Thank you for the support. The big love for the super stickers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alenia said, I'm friends with the girl did coping and seething video, by the way. Oh, you're friends with the coping and seething girl who did this video? This is a great video. So for this super chat, because I'll play the beginning of this one in case you guys haven't all seen it. This is my current favorite. Like either I put it in the intro or outro pretty much every single time.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yet you're coping and seething. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard.
Great video. Great meme. Love it so much. It's so appreciated. It's so poignant for so many of these people because even with Blerpy here, what is this but cope, right? I mean, why did you need to respond to this? What you felt like you needed to respond to this because it went viral. But actually in these situations is when you actually don't want to be responding to it because you're going to say something emotional. You're going to say something stupid. You're going to say something that's going to admit to liability. It's better just to, once again, think about it really thoughtfully, maybe go over the statement with multiple people, and see whether or not you feel the need to respond at all, and maybe just direct message them. Maybe take this offline. Maybe have a conversation, a real conversation that is one-on-one. Say, hey, look, I'm going to reach out to you privately, and we're going to talk about this, and we'll sort out whatever it takes to get right. Do it that way. This is potentially legal. So this is not the best way to handle this. This is actually really unprofessional to handle it like this.
What kind of response is that? There's also, of course, no mention of the fire marshals and the overcrowding incident, or the fact that she wasn't the only one who got roofied. Oh, and let's not forget how he ended his statement. We direct messaged you, we'd be happy to discuss it there. So in other words, we'd love for this to quiet down and isolate you so people stop talking about this. This is terrible. I mean, at this point, you're probably wondering, who the hell is Blerpy anyway? And he's just some dude who made this app called Blerp for streamers. It allows you to play sounds during a stream to interact with the streamer and use custom AI text-to-speech voices. Blerpy is pretending like everything is going just fine, posting this on September 27th, asking, hey, who wants a follow? And the tweet before that being, great party, great TwitchCon, thank you all for coming. This post in particular has many replies, angry and disappointed over what had happened in the party. And what's interesting is that you find Blerpy contradicting himself. For example, someone replied with, cultivating a community sounds wonderful. Will those communities be protected from getting roofied at rooftop parties, or maybe actually see the drink covers that were provided and never handed out?
Oof, big oof. I mean, once again, this is what happens after you come out and don't properly address something or don't properly deal with something. You're going to get responses like this. And frankly, like this is a response where like he should not be responding to this in this way, right? This just makes him look like a fool, really.
Blerpy replies with this, saying, we've heard of only one case of streamer that may have had their drink spiked. Have you personally heard of any others? This is interesting because she had posted this 2 days before he had posted that reply, calling out Blerp, saying she got roofied. So it's either Blerpy doesn't really know how to count, or there are more and more people coming out.
I actually think they don't know how to count. I mean, most people are just like me.
Look, here's the thing.
Fine. Listen,
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
Counting is hard, y'all. Counting is hard.
Out with roofie stories than he can keep track of. Now, Falside also made a video on the situation and reached out to Redclaw.
By the way, shout out to False. He did a very good video. I just think Mujin's video had a better job of the comprehensive backstory, so that's why I went with this one, but False's video is good as well. It's the exact same video I played earlier for the part on Ironmouse. It's just a different segment.
Other VTuber that was at the party. He confirmed some pretty concerning details. Like, for example, security wouldn't look at the bags of anyone entering the party. And this doesn't surprise me one bit. How the QR codes you were given if your RSVP was accepted could be reused. So you could just send them to your friends and they could just reuse them infinitely.
Now that's a serious problem. Now I think that is negligent. So if you create a QR code that can be used infinitely, it's not a QR, you know what I mean? Like if there's an infinite QR hack, right? That's a really big vulnerability of your system. If someone can just screen cap it and send it out and use it infinitely. It's kind of ridiculous. So, yeah, not negligible, right? That's actually really good. And that's really good reporting on him to follow up with Red Call and get that detail, because that is a really relevant detail. Also, not checking bags, super big risk. In fact, it's a risk for violence, right? You're not checking bags, then people could bring in weapons, guns, knives, whatever, right, to the party. That's exactly what you don't want there in the first place. And why were you even allowing bags? Most places that I've gone to, and I go to a lot of places, I go to, bars, I've gone to clubs, I've gone everywhere else, they don't allow you in with a bag. If you came in with a backpack or some sort of luggage, they're going to require you to leave that. They're not going to let you take that in. Many places don't even let you take a coat inside, right? Much less a bag. So that just seems really, once again, these are factors which lead me to believe it's looking more and more and more negligent, more and more sloppy.
How the fire marshal actually did show up because the overcrowding became unbearable. And finally, how in last year's Las Vegas TwitchCon, there was a concerning group of people that would prowl around women and harass them. And now he had seen the same group at Blerp's party this year as well.
So if there's a known group, so did you hear what he just said? There's a known group of people that is harassing women, and Blerp has gone on the record as saying he manually approved everybody. And I get it that maybe these people aren't like registered offenders, or maybe there was no way to figure it out right easily, but that's why you don't go and say these things, because it makes it sound like you manually approve somebody who might be super problematic, might be a stalker, might be a harasser, etc. Right? And you've now made that statement that you've already manually approved people after, and then this reporting happened and comes out and exposes this. So this is why you have to be very careful about what you say, especially when you're running an event, right? When you're running an event. Lumi, by the way, shout out, says things like this is why I'll never go to cons or meetups. Someone can carry me on a screen. Yeah, that's safe, right? If you're on a screen, you're never going to have a problem. If you're on a screen, there's no issue. If you're coming there in person, there can be issues. Sky Rain Puff, member for a month. Thank you. Appreciate that. Silbury says, IMO, real famous VTuber agencies rent out safe spaces or talents. Cover rents entire floors. True high profile doesn't advertise, you already know. Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, like, it's invite only. You're not going to meet cover, like, Hollow Live people, like, as a rando off the street. You're just like, oh yeah, what's up, Maury? What's up, Amy? What's up, Gura? Like, that's not happening. Right? It's going to be highly, highly screened, right? And protected, because they know how important that is, how important their identity is, their safety is, their physical well-being, right? All of that is extraordinarily important. So yes, they need to do that. The agencies need to do that, and they're smart to do that. Speaking of not smart, Chaos Smash says, I hit the mute button instead of the like button. Shame on me.
Yeah, right. Explain this to me like I'm retarded.
That won't be that hard.
But I'm glad you're here, Chaos Smash. Jinblade says, I normally don't trust people, and stuff like this happening does not help my social anxiety. Makes me even more averse to socializing. Yeah, and for most people online, this sounds like a nightmare to them, and it would be a nightmare. And frankly, look, even as I get older, and I am an extrovert, I'm an extreme extrovert, I don't like wasting my time at events with people I don't know or care about or give a fuck about, even as an extrovert, right? I'd rather spend time with my friends and people I care about than going out with random people and meeting random people at a loud place where I can't even hear what the fuck they're saying, right? So I get it. And there's so much to worry about. And especially as a content creator, and especially in the United States, where you can be swatted, you can be doxxed, you can be attacked, you can be assaulted, you can be drugged. It's like there's so many different things that can happen, especially in the US, right? The incidence of this is pretty unfortunately higher than it needs to be. Spider Bro says, can Twitch still be liable if they were made aware of people being roofied with actually having evidence and not shutting down the party? Yes, they could be, if Twitch was made aware, if they had knowledge, right? Now, we don't know how much Twitch knows or doesn't know. And I doubt this was an official party, but I have to look and see, was it official or unofficial? If they did endorse it, then there could be liability if somebody sued. I don't think there's a suit coming out of this yet, but if there was, there could be. And if they knew, certainly there could be. especially if they knew there was a risk of people going in and roofing people. For example, if they already had noticed that there's a bunch of people being roofied, then they should identify that, tell all the parties to take appropriate precautions for that. Perhaps drink covers, etc.
Overall, this situation is a complete and utter disaster. Every measure of security during this event was clearly just there for show. But I think the worst thing here, other than the fact that Blerp doesn't really seem to care, is that we still have no idea who caused this.
By the way, Oyamada says real quick, in the Buff Pup case, she got in without an invite, and the requirement varies, sometimes insane. Security is lacking. That is bad, right? If someone's allowed to slip in with no invite, yeah, that's bad. Even if they're a major creator, because anybody could pretend to be a major creator and just slip on in. Oh yeah, my name is, my name is whoever, right? My name is Ninja, let me in, right? My name is PewDiePie, let me in. Okay.
This was a very exclusive VIP party full of top creators, most notably VTubers from Twitch. There was an entire RSVP list with a manual review process. Which one of these people snuck in with an extremely strong drug and got out without being caught? We don't know. And you sure as hell won't catch me drinking anything if I ever go to TwitchCon and hang out in a party. I don't know if Blerpy, whatever the hell his name is, ends up making a party in TwitchCon 2025, which will also be in San Diego, but I sure as hell hope that the security in that event will be more than just a decorative prop. Please.
Yes, that is definitely a hope for that. So that's the dangers of VTubing, the dangers of cons, and why you have to be very careful. So once again, there's the pros and cons of VTubing, and one of the cons is there are specific risks for you beyond just the risks that everybody has going to a con, like covering your drink. That's for everybody. But if you're a VTuber, you also have to pay attention to doxing, harassment, stalking, things that can happen, and that can happen to content creators, large or small, right? Lumi Angler for 20. Thank you, Lumi. Says, don't forget everyone, if you were drugged, go to the hospital and get tested. Better to have the bill than to lose your life or something bad happening. It's also evidence you can show to the authorities and others. Yeah, and if you go to law enforcement, this was mentioned earlier, if you tell law enforcement, hey, I think I was drugged, they'll often give you the test for free. They're not going to charge you for a test they need to prove criminal activity is going on, right? So often if you tell the fire department, if you tell law enforcement, right, hey, I think I was drugged, right, you're going to get that test likely for free just as part of the evidence you need to collect, right? It's better to be alive than to alive and have a bill than to be in a really bad situation, right? Appreciate that though. Thank you for that. And that is the saga of TwitchCon. So let's just do the poll here. Who's going to TwitchCon? Oh, let's see. Who is going to TwitchCon 2025? Who's going? Yes or no in the chat? Yes or no in the chat. I want to see who's going to TwitchCon next year. Who can we expect? Who can we expect here at TwitchCon? I want to know. Shane Armstrong says, from what I've heard, there were two parties in the same building. One was Twitch, one was a Blerp party, which was in a separate area cordoned off to the roof. Well, if it's in the same building, then Twitch probably knew about it. That would be a little bit harder to prove they didn't know about it. Now, whether they're responsible for it is a different thing, especially when there's alcohol there. The liability around alcohol is already insane. There's something called Dram Shop Acts. There's also a lot of other regulation regarding alcohol, serving alcohol, making sure you're not serving it to minors, making sure that you're not sending people home drunk to the point where they might be danger to themselves or others, right? There's lots of potential liability. So yeah, holding these parties is always a bit of a risk, right? A bit of a risk. Somebody said, if I travel to America, it ain't for getting conned. Indeed. Chaos Smash said there should be a hell no option. That's the no option. I'll take it as a hell no. Jacob Andrews says, thank you for giving people information, advice on the subject matter. My pleasure. And once again, I hope to both protect people and prevent, because look, the law is never a remedy. If you're a person who has been roofied or assaulted or harassed or grabbed or punched or kicked or spat on or whatever, doxed, even if you win a case or get somebody put in jail, that doesn't really make you whole. It doesn't prevent that thing from happening. The only thing that can do that is through your own due diligence and your own caution, which once again, live your life, do what you want to do, but just exercise an amount of caution while you do that, and you'll be very, very well served. Spider Bro says, I'll go. I'm just not going to go to the after parties. Well, that's fine. That's fine. That's the safer option there. The safer option. And so far, 95% of you say no, but 5% say yes. 5% say yes. Okay, so let's move on to some bittersweet news. I mean, it's kind of there's some good news coming out of it, but I guess it is sad in a fashion. It is very, very sad in a fashion. And I'll probably play the last 5 minutes here because this part was just really, really good of this one clip. But we're going to talk about Amy Watson's graduation. I've seen some excellent. Somebody said, by the way, Chaos Match, can you do a raid at the end? If you do raid Alice Marielle, she's a VTuber who's playing Soul Edge. Okay, I'll look her up. Okay, I will look her up. But thank you. I will try to do a raid at the end. To be honest, guys, that's one of the things where I am kind of stupid because I oftentimes just forget to raid people. I want to do it more, so thank you for reminding me. And in fact, if you guys can remind me like who's live and what's going on, I can always throw to them at the end of the show. But I'll do that one for today. Sparky's Text Corner says, I stick with Mediger's point. I don't need to go to a party with people online when I'm trying to remain anonymous. More trouble from the cons than good. Exactly. And if you really want to have an exclusive party, just invite people you like or you love to hang around you at your house or hang around you locally. Right? Lumi says, I yap too much. Also, don't forget, don't mix alcohol in your meds. Check your medication label about alcohol. A lot of meds don't mix with alcohol. That is very true. And I've seen people get really fucked up off of one drink because they drank something when they shouldn't have been drinking alcohol at all. I've seen people get floored, like absolutely just like collapse one drink because they should not have been mixing alcohol with what they were on. So yes, that is a very, very, very smart thing to do. Let's look at some art, huh? There's some really good art here. With Amy's graduation, obviously bittersweet. Sad to see her go, but she's not. Is she really going? Some good art over here on Reddit. Another couple ones I like. This is actually one I like too as well. This is a very good piece of fan art here. Very good quality here. Like the art, a lot of good details there. Really liked a lot of the fan art there. Obviously, this is her last week, right, at HoloLive EN. And one of the most awesome things was that she supported a really good charity, the Ocean Conservancy, and they raised over $200,000 for charity, which is crazy, right? Which is so crazy. And when you go over to the actual page, it's actually still kind of ticking up. As I was watching it, people were still donating, which is really crazy here today. Amelia Watson for Ocean Conservancy here raised $214,000 of a goal of 145, right? And I like this. There's a whale here, which was Mysterious Takodachi. And whenever I think Takodachi, like I just think it's like I had this image in my head, and I found the perfect photo. I like imagined it was like this boy here, just sending in the 40K, sitting on the couch like a base Takodachi, and sending it in. But yeah, really awesome. Great. They raised money for charity. And I wanted to play with you. This part really, of all the clips I watched of this clip kind of was the heartstrings, and it's the 5 minutes. So I just want to show some love here with HoloLive Myth and kind of saying bye to each other, because I think this was a really, really thoughtful bit, and everybody kind of gets their moment. It's pronounced Ame, dummy. Well, we've already established Chaos Smash. We've already established.
Look, here's the thing.
Fine. Listen,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
I can't pronounce things. We've all established this. Ame. Okay. Ame. There you go. All right, let's play this.
No. No.
Thank you to the Chumbuds.
detective.
Thank you to the KFB, to Takodachis, the Deadbeats, and of course, teammates. Thank you guys. I hope we will continue to support each other, as in the other fan bases, and continue to watch all of the EN talents, of course. And I look forward to, whenever we get even more new additions into EN, and continue to support them as well. So thank you so much for supporting all of us in Myth.
I don't even know how to close. I mean, ode to Myth for
Yeah. Kiara, you ready?
Yeah.
Will you count us down for an ode to Myth?
No.
No?
You got
No.
no.
Come on.
I like that one. It's like, nope, not doing it.
No.
I keep on thinking this is like the last.
Don't
But
leave.
you never know. You never know.
I
Yeah.
have to spit out some more phlegm.
It's good to hold on to hope for things in the future.
I think something landed on Girl's shoe. I said,
oh,
I'll save it for later. Sorry, what were you saying, Callie?
Huh? Oh, I think it's important to hold on to hope for later. I guess.
Yeah,
I think
I
so.
mean, this is kind of the first time it's happening, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
you never know.
I
know.
told, I did have a meeting and I told them, like, hey, I'm open for anything, if you guys want me to come back for whatever, I'm down for it. So, yeah, we gotta pester staff and be like, hey, sneak in, I'm
We'll do it.
here maybe if you want.
I'm sure we can pester staff enough to bring Alan back to some things. I mean, we've been doing that for pestering staff for 4 years.
You got pretty good at it, right?
Yeah, I'm sure they can work something out. Be hopeful,
Yeah. Kiara, you gonna count us down to Otsumith?
No.
I know it's hard to do.
No. You have to force me.
Okay, what
Or
comes
someone
after
else.
0? What comes after 2? No, wait, 1. What comes after 1?
No.
Okay, how about
That's incorrect.
we'll do this. I can start, and then we'll end with Kiara. I'll go 5. Ida can go 4. Gura can go 3. Kelly can go 2. Carol will
He's
go
never
1.
gonna say what.
You'll never say 1.
And then we all say 1 together, and then we say Ultimate.
Okay.
All right. 5, 4, 3.
2.
Do I have to say it?
Ready?
It's so nice of you guys to wait for me. I can't do it.
You can do it.
You can do it. You can do it.
1.5.
1 3/4.
Oh, is that going up?
Wait. That is not my strong suit.
It sounded like a 1 to me. No?
This was definitely close. Ame will always be your number.
Okay.
Super cute moment there from them. I thought that was really, really cute. And that one really was the one that got me of all the moments. There's a lot of clips I saw which were really good, but to show a quick clip, I was like, I got a couple minutes I want to show and dedicate there at the end, because I think, it's always really, whenever you have people you've been working with and collaborating with, it's really hard to go. And even jobs where I fucking hated the job, I had coworkers I loved and I cared about and I like to keep a connection with, right? That doesn't always work out. But clearly, like, that generation has a really good connection and really good energy with each other, really likes each other. So I really, that one got me. Like, watching that was real. And I was like, these guys, these girls, these ladies genuinely enjoy each other and enjoyed collaborating and the time they had together. Chaos Meshes, Legal Mindset Lawyering. Kenshiro face. Legal Mindset reading name. Durr. Gudal says it's pronounced and then Ame, right? The hiragana right there for Ame, right? I know that. I'm studying my hiragana again, guys. Studying my hiragana. I'm a little behind though. But yeah, that is what I had for the main stuff. Now we do have a clip at the end. It is a little degenerate, so be prepared. But just wanted to say this has been really great, and I really appreciate you guys as a community because you guys have been absolutely awesome. Shane says it's a terrible day for rain. Ame, what Amelia went by short is Japanese for rain. Go figure. Oh, that's interesting. Well, it's been raining a lot here in Asia. Silbury said, words of Ame, lore is our reality. Never had an Amelia. She has to go to another timeline. Enter the Amelia verse. I forget if you watched Bad Ending. I did indeed watch that. It's a great video. I watched it when everyone was giving me VTuber clips when I first got indoctrinated into this. Elwin says, been a Takodachi myself since their debut 4 years ago. What a journey. Love them beyond any amount of words can ever describe. And I know a lot of other people did. And while, obviously I came newer to VTubing, I know there's people that have loved them since the debut, that, really it's Hollow Myth being number one, and they've done so much and have been so influential for EN as a brand, right? And Ame is definitely part of what made EN, right? And what made it such a strong impact on the American market and people all around the world, not just Japan, right? Not just Japan. So yeah, let me play this clip here, which was sent in. This is a bit dirty, but we're gonna play this one. This is it was too big to swallow. It was too big for cotton to swallow. Once again, as always, I know what you people want. I know what you people want. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. Yes. So let's play this clip here.
Wow. Trust, darling, I am very good with swallowing worms. I have quite the experience. It's time to get serious. I'm gonna get banned. I like the blue. I like the blue better. I have never been one to back down from a fight. And I will be damned if I let a worm beat me. Do you understand? Do you understand? Let me solo the worm. Oh. Wow. That was a lot. But it's still in my mouth. I'm like a chipmunk right now. This is delectable. Oh. I'm not a quitter. I do not spit. I do not.
Yeah, then we're gonna get demonetized for that one, guys, even at around 2 hours. Big appreciated there. Big appreciate for everybody who submitted clips for me today. Much love. I was trying to redirect the way that someone wanted me to redirect, but that creator needs to authorize me to redirect. It sucks, but I will get you into it's going to be early, but it's Mint's got a stream that's coming up, a birthday stream, so you can at least drop in there and say happy birthday from the LM squad, which will be pretty cool. There. Some people got to authorize. I wish more people authorize those rates. But appreciate everybody joining today. It's been absolutely fantastic. Thank you for your support and for everything else. I'm going to have a Star Wars stream that I'm going to be doing in the future. So that's going to come up probably tomorrow, and then we'll be back at it at our regularly scheduled program going on from there. But thank you so much. Oh, is Deanna streaming right now? Oh, is she streaming right now? Hold on, let me set that one. Yeah, it's sad because people got to authorize it. That's what the problem is. The problem is they got to authorize it. No, it doesn't look like she's streaming right now. Not on YouTube. Oh, okay. Yeah, she's not streaming. Yeah, sorry. The only one I've got is Mint right now. That's letting me do it. That's allowing me to do it. That's it, guys. Appreciate all y'all. Take care. And remember, all those haters are just...
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard.